You love singing your favorites.
Welcome back to You Not Gonna Like This. This is episode 37, the death grip of social media. I chose this topic because obviously social media is very prominent in today's society, today's time. Really, if you really think about us, be honest, all of us have social media accounts. Our grandparents, some even our grandparents have one now. Grandparents, anybody in your family has a social media account. I feel like all of us can name at least one family member that has a Facebook. I know that for a fact. Definitely know that. And you see, social media is basically kind of I say taking over the world at the most standpoint. Facebook on a lot of digital data, things like that you see Mark Zuckerberg go through in Congress, and Facebook on Instagram and WhatsApp and all these other apps. I don't believe Facebook owns Twitter yet, but I don't feel like they'll be far from that as well. But as overall, social media is pretty much taking over the world. So, and with that being said, a lot of times people become obsessed with social media, trying to figure out how many likes I get on my photos and enhance that image of themselves through social media as well. So, really, so just to air out like why do we feel like that's a tight grip on everybody, and what's the advice for ourselves to become addicted and those that are to become addicted? How can they get rid of that addiction if they need to lose it? And as always, got the guys over here, got Vontae, got PJ, got Malcolm, and it's going to be some road. So here we go. First question I got is, why do you feel social media has a death grip on people? We'd like to start it off.
I'll start. The reason I think social media has like a death grip on people is I think people uses it as a confidence enhancer. I think social media has taken away a lot of interaction that we as people have to do when it comes to in-person interaction. Which is a good thing, which is a bad thing in my opinion. The reason why I say it's a bad thing because when it comes to the real world in real life, in certain relationships, you have to be able to meet people in person and confidently do it. Social media takes all of that away because now you could just send a message in about 10 seconds and hopefully you get a response to somebody. It's taking away a lot of the work that we have to do that we're so used to doing in person to where it makes it easier for us to do we have to do online. In terms of like the whole confidence thing, I think behind the scenes, a lot of people don't have confidence, right? In the sense that people, oh, if I don't get X amount of likes on a picture, I'm deleting it. Oh, if I don't get X amount of views on the video, I'm deleting it. Why? Because they see it as, oh, this video didn't get enough attention. I'm going to take it away. But also I think in terms of death grip, I think social media can be such used in a positive way, but we've used it to where such is just what's the word? I guess I don't like using, but people use it as clout chasing. Let me get attention on myself, me, myself, and I. Let me do this, let me do that, in which it's affected our generation a lot because people don't talk to people in person like that anymore. It's unless they forcefully have to talk. Some people would rather talk to them, rather be in close with themselves, be by themselves, rather than go out and actually talk to people, which it can be good that way, but also it can be bad when you have to go into a working environment and have to be able to communicate effectively in person, looking at someone eye to eye. It's taking a lot of those things we learned as kids away to where now it's okay, I could just message somebody on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook and hopefully I get a response. So that's why I think it's personally affected people I know. That's why a lot of people I think I know do social media cleanses because you see so much stuff on your timeline, on your feed on Instagram to where sometimes it negatively affects you. You start comparing yourself to other people. The quote comparison is the thief of all joy. A lot of people do that. That's why I think a lot of people delete things because like, oh my God, my friend got X amount of likes on the picture and I didn't get that. Like what? I'm ugly as hell. Like whatever the case may be, it's something that plays, especially our community, I feel like mentally in a lot of bad ways.
Personally, I think it has a death grip because people crave interaction. They crave validation, and they seek it through social media, posting pics, getting likes, getting comments. They think that social media provides, like, I guess, a sense of self-worth to them because people are giving that attention that they're craving. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, as you spend more time on it, as you interact with more people, the grip gets tighter. So I think that, especially in our generation, the generations after us, it's so prominent because we started at a essentially, like, I guess we could say we started at an early age, basically, because we probably had social media around the time we was 6th grade, 7th grade, you know what I'm saying? And kids nowadays are starting younger. So I think that's mainly why the death grip is so strong, because it's been building up over time, over generations. So that's what I think.
Coming from, I like the way y'all see things. I think for me with social media, I see it from a different lens. It's kind of the same, but it's different. It's all the same, really. But I think us as men, this is just from what I've perceived. It's almost like the club. I think social media is like a club. The women get in for free. It benefits the women, and the men just come to where the women are. So I think us as men, like, if we really deep down think about it, TJ, Monte, DJ, I don't think we really give a shit about it. I think, whether you're in a relationship, whatever the case, I think women do care. I think for guys, I post a picture, whether I get 2 likes or 120 likes or 5 billion likes, whatever. But I think you see a lot of women hiding their likes. A lot of women, oh my God, I didn't get over 200 likes on this, so I'm going to take it down. So I think a lot, it's just, I feel like a lot of guys that I talk to feel the same way. Like, bro, it's kind of is, because I know for me, I'm just having fun on it. I'm just whatever, I post whatever. But I think a lot of women definitely hurt themselves on that, because a lot of women, I guess the beauty standard is true. A lot of women are focused on the way that they look, and what's the best way to show how you look? Show it to people on social media, people you wouldn't meet every day in life. So, of course, for us as men, it has this grip. I mean, you can get on TikTok and spend a fucking 2 hours bullshitting on that, and that's 2 hours gone. But I think for our counterparts, our female counterparts, I think they have it a lot harder than us, because I think the politics of being a woman definitely go along with, how do I look? Am I perceived to be pretty? For us as guys, shit, we might just want to bullshit with our dudes, or look up some sports stuff, or find a funny video. Damn, a fox eating a toad or some shit. Just, y'all know what I'm talking about. So I think it's a clear gender difference, because all this, I think when we really, like, for me, I'm like, oh man, I mean, it's nice. But I mean, we think about it, why are we really on social media? And we can sit there and say the news, and I don't know if any of y'all in a relationship or anything like that, but I'm just going to speak how I feel. That's just like when you post a story and someone replies to your story. And for us as men, y'all ain't got to say nothing to me. And you like, oh shit, somebody, and you see it's another nigga saying that shit to you. And you're like, okay, it's one of my niggas, cool. But you wanted to be a woman. Come on, let's all keep it a stack. You know what I'm saying? And I think the women feel the same thing. Just like when you look on a woman's pictures and all you see is a bunch of other women in your comments, and you know damn well she's like, that's not what she's looking for. But women also hype other women up on social media. This whole, positive feminist, know your worth girl movement that's coming on, which I have no problem with. But my main thing, and I'm gonna shut the hell up in a second, social media provides unrealistic expectations, and that's for life goals, relationship goals, and self, like how we look.
Yeah, that life goals thing, I could kind of piggyback off that, because I feel like we've all posted it, where social media has created this thing where, oh my God, if you're not 28 with 3 cars or whatever the case may be, you're not successful. And And to me, like, I can talk from experience. Like, I haven't really felt that, but like when you're in such in a limbo in life and you see all these things on Twitter or Instagram, kind of like, damn, am I really not doing enough? And from a man's perspective, it's like we look at that kind of like in that comparison aspect. But then from a women's standpoint, I feel like you said, Malcolm, I think they look at from more of a validation standpoint in terms of beauty and how I look. And because you may see people shutting you down as a woman, like, oh, you ugly girl, like this, that, and the third. But then they go on your friend's page and like, oh, she bad as hell. Like, I'm gonna shoot my shot at her friend or whatever. And I think it's all it in essence, it all goes back to validation and comparison at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, we're in some ways and like it may not be to a big scale, but you're comparing yourself when you see stuff like that, or like you're comparing your journey to somebody else. And so it can definitely negatively affect, people in general, just in how much negativity does it take up in your brain and cause you, to get mentally ill about that type of stuff.
And I think you're touching on something important too, because what it says, us as men, we see the niggas with the gold chains and we see the niggas with the Lambos and shit. And that's something like we look at that is our metric of success. But for women, they're looking at other women's bodies, what they make, all of that other stuff. So it's you can already see it's a different game that we play across gendered lines. That's my only point to that. I just think it's fun. Those are the underlying tones you were speaking of. We looking at, oh, he got money, he got bread, he in Dubai with a girl from Venezuela and shit like that. So I think that's crazy that you mentioned that.
I think it has a death grip on people because you are able to obtain, you're able to be introverted and still have an extrovert lifestyle. You really know what you're doing on social media. Like, you don't have to stick to a person in person at all and have a whole person and like have a whole nother life. Like, you can literally create a life on social media and a life for yourself in person easily if you really know how to use it. Like, you can really have conversations. Like, I can have conversations with Malcolm, PJ, I can have conversations with all three of you and not have to say a word to you in person. I have to meet you. I don't have to do anything. I can just sit back and then say what I gotta say. But then, when you get in person, it's like, you got no words. You so used to, typing, you don't know how to actually have that, I would say, that personal interaction. And then second, I think it has a death grip is because it's a marketing tool. Like, I say prime example for the podcast itself. Like, I use it for marketing the podcast. That's one of the main reasons. That's one of the main reasons I'm social media now is because it's hard. It's harder to get things out word by we can still get things out word by mouth now, but it's a lot harder. And it was still hard. I would say even 10, 15 years ago. It's always hard to get stuff out word by mouth versus let's say I can go share this post and then 30 people that I've never met a day before in my life can see it before anybody else, before all the people I know personally can see it. And I think that's another reason why I have a death grip on people, and I see a lot of women that aspire to be models, like, your Instagram models. A lot of women that aspire to be models, they use it as a big tool for that. Like, it's like, I see a lot of them, they'll do a lot of picture poses, they'll get Fashion Nova discount codes, things like that, to try to become a certain profession that you want to be, because nowadays, even before, I still say that, like, the odds of you being able to reach out to a Fashion Nova via email or something like that, it's like a needle in a haystack. Even today, still a needle in a haystack. But if you can just post a picture with their attire on and see that, then you probably have a bigger chance of you being known for that than you getting a chance to meet them in person. So that's why I feel like it has a true death grip. You can obtain an extroverted lifestyle while being an introvert, and you can use it as a pure marketing tool if you really know what you're doing.
But I feel like the marketing ain't got nothing to do with having a death grip. I feel like that's just an avenue you could take with social media. I think it has a death grip on people because of the fact that, like you said, people could be introverted but live an extrovert lifestyle. And people, I feel like everybody, in a sense, craves interaction in general. And social media makes it extremely easy to interact with anybody you want to. It allows you to, even when it comes to like burner accounts, people really be having time to just go on social media and say whatever they want to say and nothing happened to them. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just so many endless possibilities that happen on social media to the point where everybody's just so tied into everything. And like I said, starting at an early age, like that really just gets you more and more into it at the end of the day. So the like I said, the grip just gets stronger by year. As many times you're on social media, the grip gets stronger. So I think that's the main reason.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's a lot of bravery going on here. People be saying a lot of things to Twitter. I be seeing it, man. It be like I just say it based on me because I watch a lot of sports. Like some people be really taking some shots at the athletes, man. They be coming crazy at athletes. Something you would never say to them in person if you were standing like 10 feet from them. It wouldn't even cross your mind. So yeah, I definitely agree on that point. You get a lot of bravery. You get a lot of bravery if you use social media. You can have it. But that leads me to the next thing is like, so how do you all prevent it from becoming a death grip on yourself? Me personally, I am not a huge social media person. Not too big on it. I say, for instance, when it comes to, let's say, shooting a shot, I hate DMing. I'm gonna be real about it. I hate it with a passion. That's not for me. Never has been for me. Never been good at it. You can ask anybody that knows me personally. I'm terrible. Never been good at it. I've always been a person that can be able to talk in person a lot easier than I can do through social media. It's just how I've always been. So that's one reason I can't meet the people I want to meet, or I say have a good relationship with people through social media. It's real hard. I've never been able to really obtain that. So that's one reason I say I keep it from it. And then, like I said, outside of that, I use it for solely just marketing reasons. At that point, that's pretty much it. Marketing, and I ain't never been a big social media person from the start. Even when I first got it, when I was like a freshman in high school, never been big on it. Always been an in-person kind of person.
I would say personally for me, like it's been a death grip in the past because I used to be on all the time, and I'm still on it, but the purpose of why I'm on it has changed. Like it's changed to a point where now I'm on it to, I guess, look at motivational stuff, sports, of course. But I know now, like me working and stuff, it has that's kind of my time away from it. I really don't I could be on my phone network if I wanted to, if I have the right to, but I've kind of just took a step back from it and say, okay, this is my time to do what I got to do. And I'll check it for like 10, 15 minutes just to see what's on there or whatever the case may be. But I really try not to even put my time into that much. But I would say Instagram, like Twitter is a different story because I feel like with Twitter, there is more, like Twitter is a positive and negative space. But if depending on who you follow and what's on your timeline, I feel like it can be a lot more helpful than what you see on Instagram because there are a lot, like for me personally, like I follow a lot of people who are working, who have jobs in different fields like that. And for me personally, I kind of use that as a relationship building thing to see what's out there. And I don't know, I just try to delete stuff that I unfollow stuff to me that's not relevant to me or that really doesn't that just doesn't really make sense to me. But I've been following just a lot of people. Okay, if whatever space you in that I feel like is helpful to me, I'm gonna follow and try to get the information. But Instagram is kind of different. It's just like people really don't post as much valuable information on Instagram. It's kind of like you post your picture, you post a story, and that's it. But with Twitter, it's a lot more resourceful to use when it comes to different things. So that's why it really doesn't have a death grip. I just kind of pick and choose when I'm gonna use it and what I'm using it for at that given moment. But I've been on Twitter a lot lately and been following a lot of more people. So filling up my timeline with different things. I feel like it's all about what you follow on Instagram or Twitter. So if there's certain stuff you don't want to see, you just unfollow with the click of a button or whatever. So
yeah, honestly, I think in order to prevent it from, taking over your life is you just figure out other things to do. And you take social media breaks. Like for example, sometimes I just delete Instagram. I'll delete Twitter for like a week sometimes and just put my energy into other things rather than putting it into social media for no reason. I really got to ask yourself, like, why am I even on this? Because sometimes you really just be on there to be in everybody's business or this, that, and the third. And like, I feel like I strayed away from that growing up. Maybe that's something you grow out of, but you know, you really got to ask yourself, like, why, what am I doing on here? Like, what do I have this for? And if you can't think of a reason, just delete it for a little bit. And then when you want it again, come back to it. Just don't let it take over your life. Cause like we said earlier with the whole, you know, unrealistic expectations and this, that, and the third, like seeing a lot of that stuff can really put you in a bad funk because you really think you ain't doing nothing. Like even me speaking from experience, like you see other people out here, 22 years old, living their life, having everything they got, and then you get like sad because you think you ain't doing nothing. So you just like I said, you just gotta take some time away from it, delete some stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure it ain't taking over your life, ain't taking all your energy and stuff. So hey, that's how I prevent it from taking me over.
Yeah, I know one thing I normally do too is like after a certain time, after it like 9, 10 o'clock, like that's kind of when I'm winding down. I was just like, all right, bro, I don't really need to. I just put my screen like my app, like it will like after I have the choice, but my like I go to screen time, I just delete it. Like I was like, all right, bro, I'm not getting on this after a certain time because it's like what I need to be on there. There could be other things I could be doing. When you still have the choice to ask that shit, but it's all about self-control. Like what discipline do you have within yourself? A lot of people don't have discipline in a lot of things. So them deleting, so oh, I'm gonna delete it for like 5 minutes, and then they right back on it because their mind is so controlled, it's so filled with just all the information that we need. It's on social media. So I would say to people like if you are on social media a lot, what purpose are you using it for? Are you using it just to find entertainment, or are you using it to be productive and gain some type of knowledge on social media? Because there's knowledge on social media. It's just are you actively using it the right way? Because there's a right way to use it and there's a wrong way to use it. Which route are you using it for?
Like I take everything y'all said, I take away to everybody. But for me personally, I don't follow fucking rappers. I don't follow fucking athletes. I don't follow influencers. I don't follow none of that shit. I don't need it always confused me. And like I said, y'all do what y'all do. But for me, it always confused me why people follow famous people, like or like their pictures or something like that. I'm like, bro, this motherfucker don't know I exist. Like I'm not like, I mean, people can say, well, you never know, you never know. Yeah, but that's just for me. The only celebrity I followed was on Twitter was Donald Trump because he was our fucking president. And I could see in real time, oh my God, this motherfucker has just made this stock go up 4.9%. Oh shit, we might be in Korea next week. And that was the only exception to the rule. I don't follow celebrities. I don't like, no, God, no. So that's the only thing I do. Like, hell, like, bro, it just puzzles the shit out of me. Like, and like, even when Kobe died, even when Dolph died, like I feel sad, but I'm like, bro, niggas is really pressed about motherfuckers that don't even know I'm on this earth. I don't wish death on nobody, but it just puzzles me. Like, motherfucker, people were crying, bro. I'm crying. I'm sad. It ain't been the same. Like if any of our family members died, yes, one of our boys, whatever the case may be, but a fucking celebrity, shit, I'd be damned.
I ain't say cry or anything like that, but it all depends on what that celebrity would say, like, meant to you. Like, for instance, like, I'm a huge Kobe fan, so like Kobe was like one of like, I wouldn't say idolized, but like Mama mentality is something like I resonate well with, like just to go do stuff. So it all depends on like how that person impacted you. That's like like I play basketball too, so if I'm going to the NBA and stuff like that, I plan or I had aspiration to go to the league, a Kobe Bryant would be somebody like right in the alleyway, and I'm a sports kid as it is. So it's like I wouldn't say boo-hooing, you out here, bawling tears, nah. But I would definitely say like when Kobe died, I did feel some type of way because Kobe, I've always been a huge Kobe fan since I was like 9 years old type stuff. So like that was one of like my favorite. That was like one of my favorite players growing up. And like I said, I don't wish death on anybody at all. But like,
right,
that's like anybody for like a Shaquille O'Neal or LeBron, or even something like a famous Washington football team player that played when I was a kid, something like Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor, I used to wear 21 playing football because I grew up watching Sean Taylor before he passed me when I was like 7. So it's all kinds of stuff like that. So it all depends when it comes to following celebrities. It depends on what kind of why are you following celebrity? Are you following? Are you like I only follow Kobe, like for real. Let me see, celebrity wise, I follow Kobe, I follow Bron, maybe I think I follow J. Cole and Kendrick because I want to see when they drop their music, so I can see it before everybody else sees it.
Like I said, I ain't knocking what you do.
But it all depends on how you use to follow the celebrity. It all depends. It's like I don't know, some celebrities. It depends. It depends on how you follow them. Like I follow them just to not keep tabs on their lives. No, I just follow them because I don't know. I guess they say good stuff, especially Brown, J. Cole. They always be speaking good facts. So.
Like I said, I'm not knocking what you did. That's just for me personally. I just couldn't. And like I said, I know you said you weren't booed, but a lot of people idolize these celebrities, athletes, rappers, whatever. And I'm just like, you understand if you were in person with them, you wouldn't get the fucking time of day. And it's just like, I personally don't get it. But like I said, you do what anybody else is free to do what they want. I just couldn't see myself, like I go on my feed and I see Jake, you know what I'm saying? Or even when Devin was telling me, he was like, yeah, it was a celebrity's picture. I'm like, why are you liking it? He was like, well, why not? I was like, what does your like mean? What does your follow mean? That's almost like, I know y'all feel me on this. This is like when y'all follow people. Oh shoot. This is like when y'all follow people that aren't like famous or anything like that, and they end up unfollowing you, and you're like, yo, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck does this person think they are? Like, who do you think you are? You feel like, I mean, y'all might not want to say it, or maybe y'all feel the same way, but it's just like people, mostly women, and from my perspective, take the social media shit seriously. People will look at their Instagram followers, be like, oh my God, I gotta get my ratio straight. And now we in the era where a social media presence is clout like that. Oh my God, Snap scores. Oh yeah, they got it like that. Oh my God, look at how many followers. Look how many likes they got on the pictures. And literally no untangible shit means something. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm done on that rant.
And go back to that too. I think that type of shit gives people validation to be like, oh yeah, I'm that. Like, yeah, I'm him. Like,
Yeah.
it gives that confidence to a lot of people. It's like, bro, who are you? But deep inside, if we're gonna take it to a deeper level, deep inside, they're struggling. They're struggling like they're struggling behind the scenes. It's like they don't have that self-confidence. Instagram gives you a validation for like a day. Then people forget about you. Next.
And
So it all goes back, I think, to like, what are you using it for? Like, are you using it for,
right?
Is it taking up your time? How are you using it? Like, cool, you can have fun on social media, cool, but what are you really looking at the end of the day?
I'm gonna keep it on when it comes to Snapchat, bro. Look, I'll be damned if I'm subscribed to anybody's Snapchat. I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I get on my Snapchat and I see that shit come up subscriptions. I'm gonna add it, bro. I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I see that shit come up on my shit, bro. I'm sorry, look, I can't. Nah, no way. Nah, that's rough. Like we used like that joint just bothered me with turkey. Like we see, damn, I'm subscribed to somebody on Snapchat, bro. Like that, and it comes up in a whole separate area. Like you got your stories, the people that added you, you got your subscriptions. Like, oh no, okay, nah, that's the one thing I can't do. And I would say even Twitter. The only reason I'm on that, like on Twitter, is that shit on Twitter say it be like follows you. And then when somebody say some BS or something, they be like, oh, this person ain't following me. Oh, shit, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah. And you do it rightfully so.
It depends on the scenario. Like Snapchat is a big one. If I see subscription, I'm gonna add you faster than I can view that story. There's no way. I'm gonna sit here and I'll be subscribed to somebody's Snapchat. I refuse. Couldn't pay me enough. But
What do
yeah,
y'all think is more useful, Instagram or Twitter?
Twitter,
I don't
Twitter,
know.
Twitter, hands
University,
down
man,
the
to be
best.
real, it's Twitter University. Look, before TikTok had its inception and took over the world, man, look, Twitter taught me a lot of shit. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, man. A lot of household tasks. Like, I still got them in the bookmarks today. I'm still sitting there. To this day, look, I ain't gonna hold you. When I went, funny story, bro. When I went, my mama said go get some watermelon from the store. And I happened to be on Twitter one day, and I scrolled through and I saw that they said, "Oh, how to see how ripe a watermelon is on Twitter." And I bookmarked it, and I still got it in the bookmark to this day because I was like, I don't eat watermelon, so I was like, I don't even know how to tell which is ripe. So luckily, when I got on Twitter that day, they had a picture of how to tell how ripe a watermelon is. So hey, there's another reason why I use social media. It's a huge learning tool, especially TikTok, bro. I've been learning a lot of shit on TikTok. I ain't gonna hold you. Definitely a lot of important stuff, especially when it comes to stuff in my field, because now you don't know everything. And I also use social media as a learning tool. You know, if you use it as a learning tool, I think that's another positive thing you can use it
Yeah,
for.
like, and it all goes back to what are you using it for? Like, what is it? Like, is it something that's consuming your day, or are you trying to get information to help you as a person? And I feel like we're starting to see a lot of people, I feel like, who are actually posting, useful shit on social media. So it all goes back to how you looking at it, what is on your TL, what's on your feed, and you keep it pushing at the end of the day. So
Right. I think they're starting to pull the useful stuff because you can get that money off social media now. Let's be honest. You
yeah, a lot of
finally
that's another way for people to make money.
So of course they start posting useful information. Shoot, you gotta sound relevant to somebody out there. But that leads me to my last point here is for those with the addiction of social media, what would be your advice to them?
Simple. Don't if you have an addiction, find something fine. Try to take a break. Try to practice self-discipline and go find some hobbies that will consume your time. So where that you're at a place where you're not consuming social media every day. And I feel like if you're at this age of 25, 26, like at that age of 22, 23, 24, whatever the age is, I feel like there are a lot more productive things we can be doing than to be on social media all day. To advance our lives and to grow as people. So that's what I would kind of tell people. I know young people, if you're 18 and younger, like you're in the age where social media is currently booming as it is. So the young people are on TikTok, dancing on TikTok and all that other crap. Like but if you're 21 and older, like you should be at a place to let's start making progressions and on our life and things like that. Like don't let Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter control your life all the time.
Man, if you're addicted to social media, you just need to find something to do. You should. It shouldn't get to a point. It shouldn't get to a point where you addicted to it, bro.
But he was really about to say what he really had in his chest.
It's straightforward. If you addicted to social media, find something to do. You choose some hobbies, like Vontae said. Ain't no reason you should have an addiction to seeing what other people doing all day. It's as simple as that, man. It's just find something for you and
your eyes gonna get red as hell looking at that screen all day. Fuck out of here, man.
At the day, you don't know how much damage you're doing to yourself.
You're losing brain cells. Seriously, like take a break, bro. It ain't going away. It's gonna be there tomorrow, the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and moments later. And it's never going anywhere unless you delete that. But when it comes to like my advice is like, man, don't let it get to the point where you gotta delete it. Like that means you actually have an obsession with it. But I ain't gonna lie, the only problem I would say is, I'm gonna be honest, when Instagram had that outage, when they had that outage like a couple months ago, I realized like, dang, I really be on Instagram a lot more than I thought I was. Like, shit, I was sitting in my car on my lunch break, I was like, damn, ain't that something? I did not realize how much I was on Instagram.
Like that screen time every week and see how much you be on those apps. Yo, it's like, damn, I'd rather be on this shit.
I had that. When screen time first came out, I thought I was terrible. Really, honestly, I averaged, that joint said at most I do like 5 hours a week on Instagram. And I'm like, that's probably like during my free time. Like I literally be doing nothing, or I be laying in my bed and I feel like getting up for the day. So I just be sitting there, like I ain't gonna lie, probably most of my screen time will come from like literally be laying in bed because I don't feel like getting up. I just want to just like, the day you want to just stay at home and not do anything. Days like that, and I just be scrolling through, just watching stuff. Like, cool, like, comment, whatever. I don't know. That's just me. Malcolm, got any advice for people, man?
I think PJ really, everybody can't captured what I was going to say, but PJ took the words out of my mouth. You got to find some shit to do if you that fucking fixated on it. So
especially I would say at our advanced age now. I don't know, bro. If you're 22, man, still looking for how many likes you get on Instagram, bro. You might got your priorities backwards, my boy. Just saying, you might
Unless social media is getting you some bread,
let it go. Let it go.
Bada bing, bada bang.
if you ain't getting money off, you don't need to be on it for real. It's as simple as that.
That's simple as that. I think we kind of sum that up. Good. But anyway, so yeah, that kind of sums it up there, guys. Yeah, death grip on social media, man. Don't let social media have a death grip on you. It's not worth it. You don't, like BJ said, if you're not getting money off it, it's not worth it, man. No need for it to consume your entire 24 hours. So, just try to find something productive. Even if you're younger under the age of 18, develop the habit young. To try to learn how to grow away from it. Try to learn to have a life outside of it. Because if you can develop that skill while you are young, when it comes to you being 21, 22, 23, it's like, oh man, sheesh, I don't even need it, bro. I can go a whole day without Instagram and be chilling. You don't even notice. You ain't gotta post a picture. Like literally, me personally, I post a picture like every 7 months, bro. Like it'd be a grip. I don't even realize how long I've been. I'd be like, damn.
I don't be posting nothing either. I don't know how people be posting so frequently, but
I know I can't do it, bro. I'm not photogenic, bro. I'm photogenic, but I ain't editing photogenic. Like shit, every day, like yo, like we gotta be hitting all these pictures we taking, like shit.
Some people always have pics. So some people take pics with the purpose of posting it. Like, oh, I need to post this Instagram, take my pic. It'd be every week. I'm just like, bro, how do you do this?
How? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle for a lot of people. People trying to become influencers nowadays. They're like, let me get my money up off this social media, run it up.
I respect that though, because at the end of the day, if you influencer, you making money off it, you probably get money off it too.
That's the purpose. Like me getting on, I'm gonna wrap this up. Like me getting on Instagram now to tweet. Like a lot of times I ain't gonna hold you. I'll be on the Twitter for the podcast and I'll be looking for it. I'll be retweeting stuff, just retweeting stuff. I'll be like, I'll be just like, yeah, why not? I'll be bored, so I just do it. And I just like, see where it goes. Sometimes I get responses, sometimes I don't. We'll see how it goes. But now I got to that point. But yeah, guys, that's all we got for y'all today. So thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of You're Not Gonna Like This. As always, it is your host, Ira, signing off. Y'all boys got anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
Shit. Just know we got big things coming with our sports segments. You know what I'm saying? With our sports section, we got something huge coming. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that. For sure.
Definitely. All right, well, that's all we got for y'all guys. As always, thank y'all for tuning in and see y'all soon.
You love singing your favorite.